George was actually the one who made that announcement. Let's take a very brief listen to this conversation during the convention yesterday, the much disputed convention. I'm sure we all know how that convention went on. However, let's take a listen to this.
Echelon of our party, the PDP, and I will plead with you to listen very attentively, because if we don't tell the truth, we are wasting our time. We want to inform the Nigerian public that this party hasn't collapsed. This party is a political iroko tree, and iroko tree doesn't fall anyhow. Motion the expulsion of the following persons from the People's Democratic Party for anti-party activities and gross breaches of the party's constitution pursuant to Articles 10, subsection 6 and 58, subsection 1. And 59 of the PDP Constitution as amended in 2007. At the elective convention of this People's Democratic Party held at Ibadan, Oyo State on the 15th and 16th of November 2025. The following members: His Excellency Wike, His Excellency Ayo Fayoshe, Senator Samuel Ayawu, Honorable Umar Batuku, Adeyemi Ajibade SAN, Muhammad Abdurrahman, Senator Mao Ohabua, Honorable Austin Wachuku, Abraham George Turner, and Chief Dan Obi. Whereas Article 33, Section 2, Subsection 1, Subsection 3J of the People's Democratic Party, Constitution of 7 as amended, the National Convention of the party shall have supremacy in all matters pertaining and all organs of the party, including matters of discipline of officers and members. Whereas it is important to underscore the fundamental principles that a political party is a voluntary organization.
All right, that was Chief Bode George there announcing the names of persons suspended from the Ibadan convention. Unfortunately, however, INEC was not present at the convention. So, will we say that the expulsion was admitted by INEC? Did INEC recognize it? Whenever any convention is to take place, a 28-day period is being actually given to INEC, meaning INEC ought to have been told a month or two before the time stipulated for any convention. INEC's presence actually validates that whatever decision or outcome from the convention. So if INEC was absent, then what exactly took place yesterday at Ibadan? Now, you know, before then we had conflicting court orders. We saw a court order that circulated where they had actually said they can go ahead with the convention. We saw another one where said that the convention could not hold, specifically for Sule Lamido, who wanted to get a nomination form to contest for the chairmanship position of the People's Democratic Party. So what does that entail? And after this convention, a couple of persons were actually absent. Some other PDP governors also distanced themselves from the expulsion of Nyesom Wike and others. For example, the Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Fintiri actually said that he distanced himself from whatever decision that was taking place at the convention yesterday when Nyesom Wike was expelled. Also, the Rivers PDP also rejected the Ibadan convention. They applauded INEC for staying away. I think Fubar and a couple of others were also not in that convention yesterday. So what the decision that was made yesterday, is it been validated? Is it valid? Now you have more strong members supporting Wike who were not in that convention. Now there are talks that all of this is deliberate. Dismantle the People's Democratic Party with the aid of Nyesom Wike. Then after 2031 or after 2027, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wins the second time, the same person who destroyed the party will be the same person to bring the party back together. That's the speculation. That's basically what we're hearing. Dismantle the party for making it become a strong opposition right about now. Distract whatever means through which the party could come together. Make sure that the internal imbroglio within the PDP consistently remains. Create factions within the party that there can be no solution to whatever disagreements they're having up until after the 2027 elections. Then those who were involved in dismantling the party structure will now utilize the party, use the opportunity to bring the party back together. That is what we are hearing. That could be the plan. Some political analysts, that's basically what they're supposing. So if INEC was not in that convention, then how do we authenticate whatever decision was made? How do we say that whoever emerged as a chairman, whatever officers that emerged from the convention yesterday and the expulsion of those members, who authenticated it if INEC was not present? We'll also talk about that this evening on the Political Spotlight. Also, we want you to know that as well, Nyesom Wike was not the only person. We heard about the situation that occurred. I'm sure we all know about the situation that occurred in Abuja and what the political inclination is. Now, there are talks that it's because Wike is being seen as someone who is not a favorite of a couple of Nigerians. Some persons believe that Wike was on his right in what he did. Maybe his reaction was unprofessional. Now, if you had listened to that audio, the concentration was on Nyesom Wike and Officer A.M. Yerima. But if you had heard the background conversation, two officers during the argument were speaking in Hausa. Sometimes when issues like this happen, we need to look at it from a different perspective. These officers who were shouting at each other, one of them said in Hausa, "Why are you fighting each other? This is a fight of big men. Two big men are fighting for themselves. I and you don't have anything. We don't have any property. We are hungry. Why should we fight ourselves for the case of big men when it's none of our concern?" That's what they were telling each other at the background. The spoken Hausa at the background. If you go back and listen to that conversation, the entire process from when Nyesom Wike came in. Then secondly, what happened to the court? For example, Wike claimed that his persons, the personnel who went to the building or who went to the site to do whatever inspection they wanted to do, were beaten. So how come we did not see any one of them being shown as to where they were beaten by the naval officers that were guarding that site? This was what he told the press when he was explaining what transpired. So if that was the case, where were the officers beaten? Who were the officers beaten? And who were the officers harassed? They were prevented from having access to that site, but Wike said they were beaten or they were harassed. Rather, at that particular day when that incident happened and he was addressing the press, what we heard him say was intimidation. Also, Wike went to that venue with a bulldozer. That is why a couple of Nigerians are wondering, where is the process of law where a bulldozer comes in without any court order, without any warrant, nothing being shown, a bulldozer is brought in and then they bulldoze properties. We've also seen a lot of properties being bulldozed, being demolished in Abuja, even in Lagos, where nobody tells you anything. They just tell you, give you quick notice. Sometimes you're not even given 2 days or 48 hours. Your building is demolished and dismantled. It is afterwards they'll ask you to go to the court. So when Wike was saying that the law should precede everything, when does the law apply? Does the law apply when it is used for you to gain whatever you want to gain, or do you misapply the law when it is not to your own advantage? Where do you call for the law? In this instance, you're calling for the law. Other instances, the law is usually not applied. You use your position or your power to do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, nothing may happen and the case may stay in court for as long as possible. Again, these are the conversations. Now, also, we want you to actually adhere to the fact that a couple of honorables believe that Officer Yerima was actually, the one who was not adhering to the principles of the rule of law. He said an honorable said that Yerima obstructed the FCT from gaining access into the parcel of land under the guise of obeying superior orders. That the duty of a junior officer to obey the orders of his superiors, even though strongly upheld in military and paramilitary circles, has its own limitations recognized by no other authority but the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and that it shall be established anon. So we're going to be looking into that as well in the course of the conversation with related cases that is similar to what Wike went. Now, if you also want to know, the House has actually passed a bill in relation to what transpired with Wike, a situation where the military would not be a standalone military. They would have to be answerable to whatever administration is in charge of the time. That bill is already on the table to be passed based on what transpired with Officer Yerima and Nyesom Wike. Also, we want you to know that the U.S. Senator, that is Senator Ted Cruz, is accusing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of covering up the Christian persecution with media propaganda. He says rather than the president looking for a decisive method of clearing out those guys, they're busy buying media persons, going about junketing from one media house to another, propelling and giving all forms of excuses. Now, Daniel Bola returned from his media trip to say that IPOB was the one who planted the idea of making sure that Nigeria was designated a country of particular concern. There are also accusations against Peter Obi that he went to the US and it wasn't long he returned from the US that Nigeria was designated a country of particular concern. A couple of persons have asked questions. If Peter Obi is that powerful to influence the decision of the US and Donald Trump, then maybe there is something that we do not know for one individual to be able to create that opportunity, sidelining Prophet or Pastor Dachomo, who was the one who cried by the graveyard. Now, Gunmi had said that Pastor Dachomo, they buried only ordinary coffins, no persons inside. And Reverend Dachomo has come out to debunk what Gunmi said. Also, in regards to that as well, Gunmi has spoken. There have been calls for his arrest, that he should be arrested immediately he returns from Turkey. And he said that nobody can arrest him. He says those who are calling for his arrest are spineless, irresponsible, and unpatriotic, imbecilic people. This was a statement he shared on his Facebook page on Sunday, and he said that for years he has positioned himself as a mediator between the government and armed bandit groups, that his role has drawn both praise and condemnation from across the polity. Now, the critics are accusing him of shielding terrorists by urging government dialogue rather than a military crackdown. The cleric insisted he has broken no law and said the loudest voices demanding his arrest are motivated by bigotry and ignorance. So, according to him, he says that these individuals prefer outrage to reasoned debates, choosing to politicize his peace initiatives rather than address Nigeria's worsening insecurity. Gunmi is recalling one of his major interventions in January 2021 in the Sabongari Yari Forest in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. He said the mission was conducted with the full knowledge and approval of security agencies. As you can see in some of the northern states where they're going about peace initiatives, the governors are aware, the local government chairman of those communities are also aware. You can actually see some of the military men in the presence of those guys as well while the peace initiative is ongoing. But the question is, are they exposing those communities and Nigerians to more harm by these groups? How long will they be able to feed them? What is the politics behind all of this? And what is the president's decisive measure in tackling this? Lately, immediately after Trump gave designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, it seems like the brigandage has become worse with what is going on in those hotspot areas. So what is the attitude and what is the disposition of the government to counter the narrative that the government of the day is supposedly pampering these terrorists or looking at a means through which they refuse to acknowledge what the truth is? Now, unfortunately, while all of this is ongoing, there's accusations of some certain clerics who are using their stage to actually politicize and create ethnic tension in the polity. I'm going to play you this video of Primate Ayodele, it was quite embarrassing. Now, he's not the only person. There are also other videos as well prior to the 2023 elections where some pastors used the stage as well to supposedly speak such languages. Let's take a listen to Primate Ayodele and also take a listen as well to one of the pastors prior to the 2023 elections, what they said to their audience. Again, how has the church become a stage for dividing the polity? Let's take a listen to this.
Nigeria. Hausa is not the problem, but the Igbos. Any Igbo can go against it. You can lambast me, you can insult me. It's not my business. It gives me courage. It gives me more glory and blessing. Your insult. Igbo, they are the problems of this country. They are desperate of power. They want to rule Nigeria at all costs. And I've not seen them ruling Nigeria, even in coming dispensation. Let them bring, when 10 trillion will come out. Igbos, they are betrayer of themselves. People cannot control Nigeria. Let's be realistic. Let's be honest with ourselves. But they don't understand. Instead of them to seek wisdom, they are flexing muscle. And that's not the answer. That's what Tinubu does not even know. Obasanjo, who is advocating for them. They are the ones who spoil it. All these Obasanjo, Yakubu Gowon, who are they? Many of them. So Obasanjo wants to make an amendment now, when it's too late. Tell him about to go and sleep. We can't make any amendments. Igbo, there's an error at the beginning. A course is on you. If you don't reverse that course, Igbo, you can't be president of anything in Nigeria. Note and underline wisdom.
Now, it's quite unfortunate that we have devolved to this level, such a primitive method. Rather than pastors using this opportunity to unite the nation, they're using the stage to create ethnic bigotry, literally sensitizing every means through which they could use the media to propagate division in the polity. Quite unfortunate, all because a particular person from a region whom supposedly people expected would not produce anybody contested the 2023 election. However, prior to the 2023 election, let's also see how the stage was used for.
They thought P2B is my brother. That is why we'll never start. Wallahi, dollar now is 1,005 baht. We will go to 2,005. We will know. I'm not a boaster. I will tell you the truth. We will know between these three tribes who is the strongest. Check people they kill. How many million people they still survive? Spread all over the globe. They still build houses all over the globe. Show me one Yoruba man that built a house in Onitsha. No. You see, they talk truth, they pay. They believe to be one Nigeria. You think you are frustrating the Easterners? No, a lie. Wallahi, the spirit where God give them another see. You see now where dollar they cost. Now Odugu then they make money. No, honestly, there is one thing about the Easterners I can't explain. In the time of difficulty, they know how to stand and make way.
That is true, sir.
I will tell you the truth. I'm not saying because I'm from the East. Believe me. They take advantage of everything. So if you are not from the East, carry my spirit. Listen to me.
I hear you, Papa.
If you think dollar will come down, very soon, even.
All right, so this was prior to the 2023 elections where churches were actually used to motivate members to vote for different preferred candidates. We actually saw all of that. Now, Primate Ayodele just made this same declaration as well, which has actually gone viral on social media as to how pastors or supposed clerics utilize their platforms to create hate and separate the nation at a time when we're supposed to call for onehood and nationhood. Again, could this be the climax of Nigeria's politics? And how will the country repair itself after this? That's also another thing to consider as well. Meanwhile, Fani Kaide has warned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu against meeting with Trump. Okay, he said that he should not try to do that. He's warning while speaking as a guest lecturer at the Nigerian Bar Association conference in Akure, Ondo State. He said that the president risks embarrassment if he attempts to meet Trump at the White House. He said his concern was informed by media reports suggesting that Tinubu was seeking an audience with the American president. Fani Kaide described Trump as irrational, unpredictable, and unbalanced. Now, let's tell you something. A couple of people believe that President Donald Trump is somebody who has a very fleeting attention span, and he's facing a couple of things right now. If you've been following the news with Trump and the Epstein files, now the court is about to release some documentations, audios, pictures of certain illicit activities conducted by Trump in Epstein's Island, literally. Now, if you have read through that particular situation, Epstein's Island is being known for where a lot of illicit pedophilic activities took place. We heard about world leaders, Hollywood entertainers, top persons in the industry who frolicked that particular island and who engaged in all couple of, will I say, certain taste or sexual orientations based on their preferences, and we had different talks. Now, the court is supposed to release ask for that particular document to be released. Trump is literally facing that, and he's already having issues with some of his close allies in his cabinet. So how would he cope with it? Now, in the same vein, some of the senators are still calling on Trump to look into the situation of Nigeria, but so far we've not had any more warnings from Trump other than those senators Trump puts to be in charge of how they modulate and conduct whatever operations they want to conduct as regards to the security concerns in Nigeria. Senator Ted Cruz is still clamoring and calling out, but what is the political agenda here? Is the political agenda because Nigeria is is a member of the BRIC nation, or will I say one of the consultants of the BRIC family? Could that be? Could it also be a situation where America and China, they still have their tiff together, and Nigeria seems to be the fertile ground for some of those things? You can see that we actually have a lot of good trade investment with China. They're already buying lands, buying properties, heavy businesses right here in Nigeria. What exactly could this whole thing be? Beyond the fact that there is indeed insecurity, but is there politics behind it? What is the essence for the fight of Nigeria's, especially Africa's most populated country in Africa? We're going to be looking at this as well in the course of the conversation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Political Spotlight. I actually have Mr. Tony Mbata right here in the studio. I was expecting CP Chuks Enwonwu to be with us today because I needed his perspective on the tiff between Nyesom Wike and Officer Yerima. There have been calls for Officer Yerima's sack to be upheld. Well, we're going to see how that goes in the course of the conversation. Mr. Tony Mbata, welcome to the conversation this evening on the Political Spotlight. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening. Happy Sunday.
Same to you. So, do you think it's because some set of Nigerians do not like Wike that they're looking at it from the point of view that he actually was on the right? As a civilian, he represents the president in that instance, that Officer Yerima ought not to have prevented him from having access to that. We've had that conversation over time. But other thoughts processes have come up since then as to how this whole situation has been viewed based on Nyesom Wike's explanation to the press. He came to the press and gave an explanation as to what happened. He said former President Olusegun Obasanjo had called him before about a land dispute and say, "Oh, sir, please, I need help, or I need you to do something." So he's saying that the former Chief of Naval Staff should have reached out to him like others who have been presidents, top persons who are not even, he is not even up to, and he was able to resolve whatever issue is. Why couldn't the former Chief of Naval Staff reach out to him? So in other words, if the former Chief of Naval Staff has reached out to him, then he wouldn't have gone to bulldoze the property or what?
Esther, those who destroy institutions in order to achieve their selfish aim will suffer the consequences at the end. Now, Wike is not that people, because of the type of person he is. I've asked yourself a simple question. Have Wike obeyed a simple court order? Just of recent, somebody was crying that they have court order informing, telling Wike and FCD that they should not demolish or do anything to their property. But what did we see? We saw them demolishing those things, and that lady was crying. Now, Wike, do you believe Wike, whatever Wike is telling you to be true? Wike, who denied that he did not call the young officer a fool, and he was now praising the military? He know their contribution. Wike is known as a liar before the public, before Nigerians.
Let's not use the word liar.
I have seen Wike.
Possibly.
Excuse me, Wike, we know, we saw these things. So why are we hiding when we are saying the truth? Somebody who will lie before the camera and tomorrow he will change. He didn't say so. What are we calling it? No, let us stop painting their political when they say it. They say they are politically correct. They are not. Wike lied that he didn't call the young officer a fool. He said you're a fool. The young man said, I'm not a fool. Now, this is the same Wike that said betrayal is part of the game. So when Wike a court order given that suit him, he will abide by it. But when court order is given that is not in consonant with what Wike believe, Wike will not, because he believe that he owns Nigeria or whatever. So it's not a question of that people hate him. You see, when you are in a position of authority or occupying a post, that institution is supposed to be protected by you. You can't behave like ordinary person. That's the simple truth. As a president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, that is an institution, that is a position. When you see yourself there, you must conduct yourself in a manner that suits that office. So the office Wike is occupying now supposed not be a place somebody like an admiral who is not trained will be there. That is what happened. Now you say that the young man told you, I am acting on order. What order is Wike acting on? You are coming that place with bulldozer. Is it the court that gave Wike go ahead to go and destroy that place?
That before any court order, Wike has a right to revoke land. But the unfortunate thing we are seeing here is the fact that before you bring up any document, there's no time. They demolish your property.
That is it.
They demolish,
and they are coming to demolish that property.
They don't even give you time to relocate your items.
Esther, did you see what happened when they were moving away with their bulldozer? How people were jubilating. How common Nigerians, they were happy.
Who was happy?
People saw when the Buddha, they say power don't jump power. I saw it. And they said, yes, they don't.
People were happy that they were
people were happy. No. People were happy that they couldn't demolish that property. And they left. You see, a court will give Wike and co order. Don't do this. Wike will go and do it. We are seeing it even here in Lagos. So who is deceiving who?
All right, let's listen to this, where a property of a retired general was actually demolished. Let's take a listen to this, because it actually generated concern across several quarters. People were wondering, when did we get to this point in the polity where there's no form of decorum? People don't even try to understand how certain things go. So it got everybody worried, and people are wondering, when did we get to this point?
Earlier today in Wuse Zone 3 Abuja, Development Control FCDA, led by one Mr. Galadima, demolished a garden owned by a retired general. Everything in the garden worth millions of naira was completely demolished, and the destroyed items were chattered away by scavengers, popularly known as Babambola. What a great loss. The shocking part of the story is that the said general was not informed, no quick notice from the Development Control.
Good evening, sir. We have seen the way these people destroy your garden. We are not happy. But what happened, sir?
What will I do? I was here in the morning and I saw them coming. They say they are from development control. And they started marking the place. I said, what? They say they are demolishing. I said, how can you demolish? Without notification, without anything. They say they must demolish today. And I met them, I said, please. I met the director, Mr. Galadima, who I used to know. And I said, please, give me 1 week. He said, no. I said, okay, just give me a day to move my properties out of there. He said, no, they will not allow me. They will just destroy everything. And before I know it, they brought the tractor
and they start leveling everywhere.
So yeah, and that's just one in several cases as well where there have been reports about things like that. So the question is, why not give people time? And another thing is the allocation of this land. So sometimes Wike may finish his administration and go, award lands to certain person.
Yes.
Another person will come and say, okay, this land that you were awarded is not meant to be there.
That is it.
So why? What
So who are we to blame?
Where does this fall? Somebody will say, no, this is not the right channel, and you'll be like, I've presented my document. I have all of this. It was signed by the FCC.
Most of them have their authentic documents, have everything. And look at the man was saying, okay, give me a day to take my things out. They say no. What kind of a society that we find ourselves? That you cannot even have sympathy on somebody's property, somebody's had any money, and he has papers, show you all the paper, no information, nothing, no warning. Even if it's an animal kingdom, they still show mercy. If the young naval officer did not defend that property, that could have happened to them. These people are trying to cause problem in this country. Look at how people are crying. We are crying shortage of housing, and the little one we have, people are destroying it. And who will they give this property again? Their friends, the same people. So we should rethink. Government, if you are in power, you are not empowered to kill everybody. There are due process of doing things. Even court themselves, court will give you time before you say court has.
It's not like that in this part of
no.
what we have seen lately. I mean,
they do it with impunity.
Demolish your building.
Remember that somebody, even if you build your house, somebody go and occupied it without your notice. You don't have any right to push that person out. You must follow the due process. Going to the court, somebody illegally occupied my building, and court will look at it and give you the order. Move, and they will send people with you, but this time around they will do it and they will tell you go to hell, because they believe that the country belongs to them. They believe that they own this country called Nigeria.
But why do you think Nigerians were happy about it? Because there are talks that Wike they call him a land grabber because of the method through which some of the demolitions have taken place,
and also the allocation of this land. Remember accusation given to Wike when Wike allegedly.
What is allegedly
allocate a land to his son.
It's not just a land. Okay. There are documents out there.
Documents, we saw it.
In the FCTA that gave the Sahara reporters access to that document was almost sacked. They called him for questioning.
Look at allegedly. It. Those land, they will give it to their friends.
He said that his son is of the age to buy land if he can buy land.
See,
so it's not an alleged.
So that is telling you that the way Wike is going about things. You know, one thing with power, I love this God.
But another thing we should ask, Mr. Tony, before I like the fact that you're calling God.
No, I love how the nature is being structured. That at your own time, no champion reigns forever. Do you know that?
Mr. Tony Mbata, another thing that is quite worrisome is how Trump said he was going to invade Nigeria because of insecurity. And when I mean invade, not necessarily come take over, but help or assist, because they already know where these guys are to round them out. Nigerians were happy. During the End Bad Governance protests, some Nigerians were calling for a military regime. A young boy in Ogbibo in Port Harcourt now has been taken to court for calling for the emergence of a military rule. I don't know if these children, if these are the Gen Zs who did not know what it was during the military era or what Nigerians went through at the time. But the thing is, some persons, even of that time, who witnessed it, were saying the military was preferable to a civilian government. So you're having Nigerians happy with what Yerima did. Again, this is another concern that I don't know if the administration of the day is looking at the sensitivity of certain things. Nigerians were happy that Yerima did what he did to Wike. They supported him. Right now, if Yerima comes out to say he wants any political office, Yerima is representing something radical to a couple of Nigerians. They don't know who he is, they don't care, but for the fact that he spoke to Wike the way he spoke, he had gotten a lot of support. Some persons have even married him in their minds.
Yes.
That's one. Two, a song has been created between Yerima and Nyesom Wike. Three, the situation with Trump, Nigerians did not mind. They said, Trump, invade the Nigeria, whatever it is you have to do. So there are concerns as to the sensitivity of what is going on, that the democracy that we're practicing and the civilian administration is an administration that is not amiable or friendly, people friendly, that will prefer a stiff, in some instances, power hungry military regime where you don't have a voice, you cannot critique, you cannot dissent, decisions are made without your consent. A lot of corruption and embezzlement of our wealth were carried out during that military administration, but Nigerians say it is better.
Esther, let me give you a scenario. When there was a farmer in the land of Egypt, Joseph was in charge.
When there was a farmer or there was famine?
Famine in the land of Egypt.
All right.
Joseph was in charge. And at the time, he was saying that this food will cause this. They said, buy us and buy our children so that you can give us something to eat. They were ready to sell themselves to the governor, Joseph, in order to make sure they see something to eat. Now, have you been hungry before? When you are hungry, you don't mind what else will happen to you only for you to feed. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are hungry. And let me tell you honest truth. No matter we are saying that the worst civilian regime is better than the military regime. Go and check most of the developmental projects we have in this country. It was done during military era. Go and check most of them. Third Mainland Bridge. Since the civilian government came in power, have you ever seen them do such a bridge? Go and check other ones. I can mention them one by one. And secondly, I asked one of my friends, one of my classmates, who is a colonel in army. I asked him, that rumor of whatever army, whatever coup, is it true? He told me something. He said yes, but they don't want to make it open because they know that Nigerians, they were waiting for the military to come. They are happy. So what they did was to cover it. Well,
what's his name? Bayo Naniga said it's not as...
I'm telling you, this is a colonel in Nigerian army. He's no longer in Nigeria now. He told me, he just came in and told me, say, Comrade Tony, it is true. But why they don't want to make it to look as if it's true is that they don't like that Nigerians are happy.
But my question is,
Nigerians are hungry.
Why is the government not sensitive to this?
Will they be sensitive to it because they are being engrossed because of the thing they are doing, the money they are grabbing? They cannot, because you see, when you don't have integrity factor in your life, you can't see anything good. Even when people are dying, it's nothing for you. You think that everything is grab it and get the money and eat it and spend it. Because, in development economies, we say we have 5 factors of production. The other one, they say they will have 4. The fifth one is integrity factor. Because when you have integrity factor, you will be able to know that as an employer of labor, you have to work whether your master is there or not. As someone that employs labor, you know that laborers deserve their wages as at when due. So if you don't have integrity factor, you do eye service as a laborer. So most of the so-called leaders, they are not even leaders. They don't have this integrity factor. Look at what that young man told Wike. Say, I have integrity.
And then he made that statement. Wike said
he said it. So he knew that the person I'm dealing, maybe the Nigerians have seen you that you don't deserve being in that position.
Let's listen to this again. You know how.
These people are reminding me the days when I was a member. This is our tune. Nigerians are happy
that's not the only one. A couple of other cartoons, illustrations, songs. Immediately
because people are, you see, when I was a human rights chairman, Esther, I find out that people love somebody who defend their integrity, who defend themselves. When somebody is oppressing you, somebody will come to defend you. People are happy. Something happened when I was a human rights chairman of Justice Development and Peace Commission. A man was beaten by Kai mercilessly. So the day we went to Kai office at Alausa then, and met their PR and all the rest of them. I saw when we restored that man integrity, when he was coming out, his shoulder was high. I looked at him, tears rolled.
So my question to you, Mr.
So Nigerians are looking for people to help us.
The thing is, a couple of persons have insisted that Wike was right. He represented the president. The naval officer ought to have seen him as somebody representing the office of the president and respected him to have access to the land. Others believe that if Wike wasn't provoked, it wouldn't have gotten to that point in how the situation, devolved to where it did. Others also believe that when it comes to issues like that, the court should have been involved before what happened. However, the thing is, this is how most typical Nigerians who may not have connections or any form go through. I remember Rita Lori when the whole thing started. If you recall, at the time she went for a monitored television program where she was invited. She talked about how her husband was given that land because he fought for Nigeria during the Civil War, and that parcel of land that she got was basically what the Nigerian government gave her husband, and now they wanted to take over the land. It was quite a longer battle at the time, I recall very well. This and a number of other issues in the FCT, and their expectations that it will keep on going. Also, when El Rufai, before he became the governor, was also the FCT minister, things like this happened. Lands were people's properties were demolished, lands were reallocated because he says that they wanted to enforce a discipline. So maybe it has to do with I really cannot explain what the trend is. Now let's look at Senator Ted Cruz and Sheyi Gunmi. Sheyi Gunmi is actually saying that those who are calling for his arrest, specifically, he called them liars, he called them imbecilic in them asking that he be arrested, that he has mediated for the Nigerian government and this terrorist, where they were about 600 and something at the time. He has created peace, he has fostered peace, and he was even accompanied by one of the commissioners at the time, to go mediate with these bandits. In other words, Sheyi Gunmi actually told us that they know where these guys are, they know where they converge, and that he saved a lot of Nigerians at that period. What does this expose to you?
What is exposing to me is that this man Sheyi Gunmi is working for some certain big powerful element in the government. And also, secondly, when non-state actors begin to dictate what happened in the society, like Nigeria, that to show you that that's an indices of a fair state.
Is this a political move? Because hold on, because for his arrest, and okay, if this man knows who these people are, why can't the government call him to say, tell us where they are?
So that's what I'm telling you.
Us now that he has even taken them.
I'm telling you, that's why I said he is working for. I didn't want to say the government, or I say some powerful individual in the system. They should defend themselves. Now, when non-state actors begin to dictate what will happen, and somebody say, I have taken, we saw it, Nigerians saw it when they were discussing with the government officials, and then he said, I have taken them there. That means they are working together. And I have said it time with a number that if government want to stop insecurity in Nigeria, they will stop it. But they don't want to stop it because they are benefiting. This is what I believe, Tony Bata. I believe they are benefiting from it. All these things, they know what is happening. Why is it that when Trump say we are coming to do this, and you see government officials going and saying all manner of things, defending something that you cannot defend, something we are seeing, something Nigerians are feeling, something Nigerians are passing through, somebody will tell you it's not happening, and they are happy doing it, and their conscience will allow them to go and sleep. So government is into this.
Not saying that they are in a vulnerable state.
No, government know what they are benefiting from it.
Which of the government?
The government.
The reason why I'm asking this is there was a field supposedly cool, no matter how anybody tries to hide it. Then the brazenness of Officer Yerima to a 7 minister whom everybody knows is close to the president. Any minister appointed is appointed by the president. In other words, in whatever capacity that minister finds himself, he's representing the president in that instance. He did not back down. Is the government of the president vulnerable? Is there something that we do not know? And what measures are being taken to address this vulnerability? Because if Nigerians are saying they want to embrace, some cross-section of Nigerians are saying, we don't like what is going on in this administration, there is anyhowness, there's brigandage, poverty, insecurity is thriving, nobody's paying concerns, and the polity is polarized, heavily polarized. All is politics towards politics. You are not harmonizing, you are dividing. It doesn't that state that there needs to be something that needs to be looked into by the government.
There should be, but as I say something ab initio, I say he who destroy an institution for his own selfish aggrandizement will suffer the consequences when the time come, because the government of the day have destroyed the institutions. You don't have legislators, you don't have the judiciary, you don't have the police, you don't, no institution is working except that presidency. The in Igbo language we call them Ezonyabalam. One day people will not tell you until you will fall into a ditch. So government have destroyed the institution in this country.
So what should be done?
What should be done is for us to go back to the drawing board, for us to look at what is happening. Are we really a nation or a country? So we have to know. It's not a question of, and other people should know that an institution is supposed to be an institution. You are not under the president. We have judiciary, we have legislators that are supposed to checkmate all these things, and because of your own selfishness, you want to do what the president is said. How can Nigeria move forward when we don't have senators now?
Sure
we don't have judiciary.
Sure, no, you can't say we don't have.
We have them as a rubber stamp.
No, you can't say that.
What are they doing?
You can't say. See, for example, in the case of Sunday Jackson now, the latest judge actually countered what the other judges said in terms of the death sentence allocated to him. The judiciary can be independent in their thought.
You say can be.
Yes, can be.
They should. They not can be. They are. Okay. They are independent arm of a government.
They're supposed to be independent.
Not supposed. They are independent. So what they do is that they work in collaboration with all the arms of the government, judiciary, legislators, and executive.
Are they supposed to collaborate, or they're supposed to checkmate?
They're supposed to checkmate one another and also collaborate in the progress of this country.
Okay.
So when one arm of the government, look at Wike will be telling you that judiciary before so they will build their quarter, their house. Are they supposed to be building their own? Judiciary is supposed to have their own money allocated to them as the presidency have their own legislators. But now you see executive be building house with a judiciary officer. Is it supposed to be so? Whereby they have their own concurrent expenditures differently. So what am I saying is that when you destroy an institution, you will meet these things.
All right.
Because the young army officer say, I am under authority. The person is like, who is authority? And Wike is coming with his own authority. Did Wike present any court order for him to go and demolish? When has Wike turned to be these people that demolish house from the court? When? But he is there with his bulldozer in order to carry out the whole thing. And the other man say, no, I'm a man under authority. I need to understand what authority is. So they have destroyed the institution. We don't have INEC, we don't have judiciary, we don't have senators, legislators. So which way, Nigerians? We need to call back our sovereign power and call these people to order. Nigerians, you see, my people said, he who sees a fowl that is, demolishing feces, you should pursue that fowl, because nobody knows who will eat the leg when the time comes. You see something bad, you don't say this is bad, because it's like somebody will telling you that some set of people are problem of this country. You see, when Jesus was picking some people, he picked one of the armed robbers and he still displayed that. He displayed by stealing from the purse and also betraying his master. So-called God of men, not people that God called, can go there and say anything, causing problem to the society, causing problem in the name of God. How can somebody that call himself a man of God?
No, it's not the first time.
No, I know it's not only him.
No, yes, he's not the only one. It happened.
Not only him.
It also happened prior to the 2023 elections, and he's not the only person, unfortunately.
But this time around, he said some set of people are problem cause. Who told him? Who made him such? He's not a man of God.
Because he's
speaking from the devil's side.
Hold on, Mr. Tony, calm down, please. We're educating ourselves. We're not meant to be emotional or sentimental about these things. Let's educate. The thing now is this: when has the church is meant to be a unifying factor. not a political ground.
Yes.
Hear the polity further. Where did we degenerate in that aspect, where a church that is considered holy, that is considered sanctimonious, that is the only haven for the poor man who doesn't necessarily have what it takes, the only place he knows is when I come to the presence of my God, regardless of who I am or what I am, he would not disintegrate me, he would not humiliate me. In the presence of God, we're all equal. So if you look at the Bible, the presence of God or Christ himself as a body, and I want to also believe that is the same thing too in the Quran. It doesn't look at the creed, it doesn't look at the hierarchy.
Yes.
What it looks at is your heart. So how will a prophet who says he predicts make such divisive rhetorics, considering that Nigeria is a very sensitive country when it comes to tribe and religion? And he's not the only person. It's been like that. Maybe a couple of people, it wasn't this publicized. So when did the church become a ground for division, for ethnic sentiment?
Esther, as I said before, when you are not called and you call yourself, you are bound to do that is pushing you to enter into any office.
The people he called out, don't you think they are also in that church?
No, what I'm saying, when you are not called, when you are not ordained, ordination is not by somebody can go and buy olive oil and pour himself and say, I am a pastor, I am a bishop, I am this. The Bible says, Jesus said, nobody can take this honor by themselves. It is given. And that's why I'm not missing word. If you look at the order of Holy Roman Catholic Church, how they elect or ordain their priests, you will see certain things. And some other people, Anglican or whatever, you will see there's a process. Most of these people you are calling a man of God or woman of God, who ordained them? Who called them? What institution? See, and secondly, some people can easily be ordained too. You will see that man in them. You will still see it. If they are armed robbers, you will still see them. They are still behaving. Judas Iscariot was an example of it. Jesus called him.
My question, Mr. Tony, why we are always, I sometimes I like the fact that you're using the Bible to pass across your information, but we need a physical context here, a practical context.
The practical context is that
not everyone is a Christian.
Yes.
Exactly. So when you use a biblical instance to give an example, it's not wrong, it's not bad.
Okay.
But since not everyone practices Christianity. So let's use ideal context.
Okay, the ideal context is that people have seen money. When you see money as everything,
so are you saying that this pastor saw money?
Yes, most of them. It's not the passion to serve God or serve humanity. What is pushing them is to how to make money, to make name, so that people will hear them.
The question is, should the church be involved in politics or should the church remain neutral?
No. Right from the church, if you read the history of the church has been working in collaboration with the government for the good of the people. Yes, church
is. The Roman Catholic Church used to be the leader of
church has been
at some
in order to church has been. Who are these people? Most of the people that are leaders are members of the church. So church has never been an opposition to the government. They work in collaboration for the good of the people, because most of these people are church members or Islamic members or whatever. So it is the church that will shape them to tell them the truth, in order to know how to govern the people of God. Because you see, any authority that exists, God allow it to exist. So you listen to God. The church is like the shepherd, all for everybody. So when you don't know what you're supposed to do as a church leader, you will goof. You will do the opposite.
Now, in the case of the convention that was held yesterday, INEC was not there. So the expulsion that took place, will it be recognized?
Yes, Esther, they go and read the constitution of most of the political parties. The party have the right when they have their constitution. Okay. So when you are not working in tandem with the constitution of the party, the neck of the party,
not sure exactly,
have the power to either to expel you or suspend you.
But the chairman and whoever emerged right now at that convention, will it be recognized? Because INEC wasn't there. Remember that this was the same thing that happened to the Labour Party and one other political party that sued Mahmoud Yakub to court, where he was asked that he will be charged for contempt of court for not obeying court orders. So what I'm asking is, if INEC was not invited, does it validate whatever decision was made at the convention?
The question is that was INEC invited to that convention?
Obviously, INEC was written to.
So if INEC was invited and INEC did not come, so INEC should tell the party or the court when the matter will be called. I know that some people will challenge it.
Because according to
that
others,
we cannot stand here to say because
the only convention they recognize is the 2022 convention, where they were able to produce a produce a
national chairman,
a national chairman, and produce a presidential candidate. So now that we are here, now that as it stands right now, and INEC wasn't there, so what happens to all the decisions that were made?
The issue is that somebody will challenge it to the court. Let us know what happened. Whether if INEC purposely refused to come, if there was a court order that INEC, the PDP should go ahead and conduct the election, and INEC refused to come, so will you blame PDP for conducting that convention? No. So INEC should tell us, why do they refuse to come for that convention if there was a court order for them to go ahead? So we can't be here to divorce some of these things, because INEC should tell Nigerians why, if there is any court order that say PDP go ahead, and PDP have written to them.
Because it's not only Wike, you have the national.
So we don't know whether INEC is working for government or for themselves or for the people.
Because the National and State House of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal in Kano actually nullified the election of Mukhtar Umar Yerima of the New Nigeria People's Party. They ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to withdraw his certificate of return. This is in tandem along with the expulsion that took place yesterday. Now, apparently, a petition was filed, and Hafizu Kawu of the APC, who challenged Yerima's eligibility to contest the House of Representative election for Taurani Federal Constituency. So Yerima was initially declared as a winner by INEC. However, the three-man tribunal panel led by Justice I.P. Chima found that the lawmaker was not qualified because he allegedly forged his primary school certificate.
Okay. You see that? That's why I said.
So does this situation apply to all? Because he forged his primary school certificate, and so he wasn't found eligible.
But many people have been forging their own and going free. Some people even are late. You know, there was a time that a lot of things we don't need to say on air. But why is it that some people, when they commit offense, you see the law be very active and active, but some people will do that, they will stop pedal. What institution are we running in this country called Nigeria? You see, that's why I said you destroy institutions will suffer it when the time comes. And don't say because I am in power today, you do all the buha, everything. Tomorrow you will not be there. That's why I keep crying, Maurice Iwuji or Obasanjo. Obasanjo, they never know that APC will degenerate into this level of impunity. They thought that it was that time, election is do or die in a crude way. APC is doing their own. No, you will see what is going to happen 2027 election.
Sure?
Oh my God.
Mr. Tony,
oh my God.
Speaking, I don't know what you're.
Oh my God. If you see the kind of plan.
What plan?
Oh my God. If you see election that will come.
What election that will come, Mr. Tony Mbata? What election?
They should reform INEC.
That is what we're all asking for.
So that our vote will count.
Electoral laws.
Because all these people are decamping to APC. Is it that APC is doing magic in this country? Is it that there's no hunger in the land? See how people are dying. See everything. And people are PDP. I'm hearing that on Wednesday, Taraba State Governor going to decamp too.
Yes.
And all of them. You think... If you see the kind of thing, because they are talking, the little thing they will tell you, go to court.
Even in Plateau State, some of the House of Rep members have defected to the APC, and there are talks that very soon we may actually hear of that of I think Caleb Motwang Serve. Very soon he's actually working.
Even River State.
Obvious, River State is APC in tandem. Just have the.
So when you look at all these things, you ask yourself, what do they see?
All right, well, God knows what they saw. I mean, freedom of association, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take your calls right about now. The number to call is 08036929933. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. That's a WhatsApp number Oh yes, I think I have a call on WhatsApp this evening. Hello. Your calls right about now. The number to call is 08036929933. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. 0817175638. That's the WhatsApp number. Oh yes, I think I have a call on WhatsApp this evening. Hello. Your calls right about now. The number to call is 0803692. Welcome. 9933. 08036. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Good evening.
Kenny.
Welcome. What's your name?
Obina. Ikotun.
Obina from Ikotun.
Yeah.
Alright, Obina, please go ahead.
Okay. Now 2027 Nigerians are waiting, and even only governors they become. How many are the governors? So what we need is free and fair election, an election that will be declared during the day, not midnight. So we need free and fair election in 2027. The governors that are the country, they are not hungry, and their children and they are not out of school. So none of governors that we hear that terrorists are attacking in this nation. So people are not blind; they know what to do. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello, good evening.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Radio, please. Hello.
Esther. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Welcome.
My name is Jovel.
Jovel, welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Tony Bata, good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
Mr. Rawal is absent today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Esther.
Sir?
What you heard Mr. Tony Bata said now is the reality. The people are the opposition today. You see, the political parties have failed Nigerians. Political party is just a vehicle through which people get to the government, and they need people to vote them. It is not enough to belong to a political party. The government has failed Nigerians, political parties have failed Nigerians, but the people are the opposition. What we need is very simple. A political, what is it called, reformation. I don't trust the new chairman. This is what I am saying. I don't trust him. But those that are making laws for us in this country are the major problems that we have. Ditto the head of these governments. You see, if they do the right thing and Nigerians vote properly, there will be no thing like APC. That convention that took place, the PDP convention, whether it is legal or illegal, it is a sign that at least something is beginning to happen. And it is only the leadership in this country that made that convention to be illegal, because they have made it allegedly for INEC not to be there. If not, why would INEC knew that there would be a convention, they were invited for the convention, and they did not show up? Something is fishy somewhere, but time will tell, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Joval. Thank you for calling. All right. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Good evening, sir. Welcome. How are you today?
Good evening, sir. No, I'm not hearing. Okay, thank you. Okay.
I want 36 of okay. And the result is coming out. But it's a black day for Nigeria. Everybody is going about their normal business, not minding what these people are doing. But it will occur to them that one day they will go to market to buy guys, they will tell us they will not sell to them. They are order from above. they thought I'd be anybody. How can Nigeria 250 million people belong to one political party? Is that possible, man? But honestly, I don't know what the politicians are getting. But they will give you money in return against Nigerians. These are democracy in our position. As soon as they come to Nigeria, come and help Christians, some Democrats say they don't want it. Why is it a democracy? In America that we voting from, they still have a position. One Nigeria, they don't have. So any party want to come out, they will turn somebody there, they destroy it. And these people that destroy the thing are those people that were not in the country 14, going to all places in the world, calling Trump to come. Today they don't want people to talk, to voice out to talk. Now it's time for us to let them know that today is too big.
Thank you very much for calling. 0803692 9933 0803692 9933 and the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. Alright, hello, good evening, how are you?
Good evening.
Welcome, what's your name, sir?
My name is Peter.
Your name is what?
Peter.
Chooks.
Peter.
Okay, Peter, welcome,
Yeah.
sir, how are you?
I'm fine. Tony was good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Esther, please, what I want to say, you see this APC government, I have no apology. No any good thing that will come out for this government. I'm telling you the truth. If you watch,
Why do you say so, sir? Why is that positive?
What I'm saying, when people see that they are too smart, they can do anyhow, they can see, they can kill, they can smash and run. There is repercussion. And if you watch this government, starting from Buhari till now, if you see the way they are giving appointments, something like even this two is what. All the whole positions.
Sir, is it about the appointment or is about the effectiveness of those that they give their appointment?
The way he's being as if this Nigeria is the Yoruba. Can't you see the way he give appointment? Whether the person know the what he's doing or not, he will appoint the person because of he protect your people. He's not.
Right, thank you. Mr. Tony, even if again, we're just speaking, if the president appoints all persons from his ethnic group in his cabinet and they're working.
Fine and good.
Okay.
Fine and good.
Hello, good evening, how are you?
Go ahead, nothing is happening there.
Hello?
I know so you talk. Are you hearing me?
Who they happen there?
No, I know you shouted. I know why you were shouting.
Yeah, the back.
I don't worry yourself. You're going on vacation. Go.
Okay, what's your name?
Andrew from Lagos.
Andrew, please go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what the sort of thing happened before I told him, but I had the argument and look, I don't know if you got the anchor woman. Well, when they mention churches, you try to protect maybe because of you are the anchor person. If not, if you look at the Christians in Nigeria, the churches, according to the analysts there, they bend themselves, all of them, they are bishop and all that. You remember that they are those churches, they are the founders. You know that?
Found out. I understand where you're coming from. You said protect.
I'm talking about the church you mentioned. Yeah, the German church, hammering on church, and both of you were like arguing over it.
So next time when you call on a show that you didn't follow from the beginning, try to get context first before you start giving your input. So it's obvious you didn't follow from the beginning. He was trying to emphasize that the church and the government work in tandem, and you didn't listen to the broadcast I played where a particular pastor or prophet was cursing an ethnic group that they're the problem of this nation. That's where the conversation came from. So if you follow through, you would have understood before you.
Hold on. But thank you for enlightening me. I got the version of the analyst where he condemned in totality what you have just told me now. You have talked about this church some time ago, so where they are after their investment, they are after their money. So they are not even working for the masses. They follow the government. If you look at the Trump situation, all of them align themselves with the government. none of them came out to say exactly what happened, even though they were the ones rescuing the reverend, burying the bodies of their members. Now person cannot do that. But look at them. Did you see any single person that came out and say anything in favor of what Trump said? Nobody said that. So like Gunmi said, they are the ones that say, you know, you use a Catholic Anglican to draw an example. So I knew where we were going to that the churches are not in alignment with the public or the religious things. Rather, they are just like working with the government. Then as far as the political issues concerned, myself, it's not a heavy one because we cannot continue like this. If they don't reform the electoral system like the analyst said, it's going to be difficult because all this discussion, they are preparing for war, like the man said. Not that it's just like selecting choice of war. They are preparing for war because if.
Hello? Oh, wow, lost that connection. Mr. Doing better. Can you recall what you talked about the church? Because I remember that you were using biblical instances to explain, and I said not everyone is a Christian. So let's use real life context to buttress what we're talking about. And then you said that the church, right from time immemorial, has always worked in collaboration with the government. That was, the historical perspective that you gave. Unfortunately, now the church is working with the government for their personal interests. Did I protect the church?
No, you protect the church. You want me to be more factual so that we can talk on what is happening, which I was saying that most of them they call themselves, because if they know who they are, they will be talking about some of the things they are saying.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, Esther, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Please, what's your name?
Yeah, this is C2 calling for Freetown.
C2, welcome. Happy Sunday.
I wish you the same. Is it any better? Good evening. Yeah, Esther.
Sir.
I want to basically told you something, okay? Because it looks like when you people don't want to do your job, if someone else come on board to do your job for you, you should take responsibilities and acknowledge that yes, you people are all failed, okay? You watch Donald Trump, specifically somebody from the US, say that there is genocide in Nigeria. And you are here telling us now, right here, what was the interest of Donald Trump coming? Could it be that China is buying land, investing? You want to change the narrative of the genocide that we are witnessing?
Mr. C2, I don't know if you joined this conversation from the beginning. I would implore you, if you join us from the beginning, you will follow through. If you did not join us from the beginning, you will not come and be messianing and be insulting anybody, please. I beg you. If you had joined from the beginning, you would have listened to me when I said different interpretations, how Nigerians have interpreted the country of particular concern on Nigeria and the Christian genocide tag. All the interpretations have come from several quarters as to how they think or what they think about it, and then we want to look at what is the politics behind it and why the government of the day has not decided to have a sit-in with Donald Trump or have a conversation with him. Could it also be that Trump is going through his own issues because we've not really heard anything more from him aside from the senators he designated to be in charge of it? So please, in the name of God, if you're not following the program from the onset, do not call in to just you stand and see in a bagel. Be careful. 08036929933. That's the number. 08036929933. And the WhatsApp number is 0817175638. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Esther.
How are you?
I am fine. I'm feeling better.
Good evening, sir.
Please.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay, sir. Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
She just was calling from Okwaso Badagry.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
I have seen that it is not easy to analyze Nigerian issue. Especially when you play that thing of the church. I and my wife were outside. When we listen to what that man of God, as he call kind of a country are we? So the only thing that we are lacking is that we don't have the proper orientation of what nations are supposed to become. Everybody is only looking at his tribe, which has been the problem of us, ethnicities. And until we come to realize that even when we are different, we need to look at what are we benefiting from those who call themselves our leader. Is it benefiting everybody? So that pastor was so biased. May God forgive you. So the issue of genocide in Nigeria, Esther and Tony, that is why Valentine will always give you the history background. This thing is something that has been there right from the beginning. This particular extraction right now they believe they have captured Nigeria. So the other issue of whoever is in leadership to play politics, not going directly to the issue, are just playing against time. If America is not coming to Nigeria, and that when they will come in, this thing will never cease. Because people from that particular area, that's many there, they are lamenting seriously. The thing did not start today, right from the beginning. So after in a serious trouble in Nigeria, that if we don't look at it critically, this individual can never solve our problem, because I call them Arab Progressive Congress. They are rooted from these people that are so biased on how to govern this nation to make us unite. We are in a serious problem. Until, but because of God, 2027, like Tony is telling us, the thing that will happen in 2027, nobody can predict it. Because the people are tired, you don't allow somebody to speak up his mind, and you want to say you want to fix yourself on them to govern them. 2027, Nigeria should wake up. The thing that will happen, nobody can predict it. Good night.
Thank you very much for calling. 08036929933. That's the number to call. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. So let me take some messages. Good evening, Esther. What is messianing? You said don't come and be messianing here. It's true now. Some people will just what we are talking is different from what they are saying, so then they misdirect themselves. So let's be on the same line of thought. Good evening, VAP. There was indeed a country. Look at Wike talking about maintaining the law. Is it not a point calling kettle black? Wike suddenly remembered law now simply because it does not favor him. What do you think would have happened if that piece of land belonged to Mr. Tony Mbata or Mr. Lawal Kondaya? I think the reverse would be the case. Please, Officer Yerima is a gallant soldier and she will be promoted immediately because he is indeed a man of integrity. Why did they come with a bulldozer in the first place? Thanks for Officer Yerima's intervention. Many people have lost their property and some even died out of depression simply because of some rascal element in power. So for the man of the devil who claims that some people are cursed is because they are not his followers or members, as the case may be. No tide returns to him from those people, so you can understand his frustration and where he is communicating from. I think such person shouldn't be given media attention in the first place. So as Akiri is jumping, Nigerians are watching. Chris from Iba. Well, without me putting it here, is already over social media everywhere, and it's terrible. It's dangerous to allow that kind of narrative fly without correcting it. It's a dangerous precedent that a couple of these people are setting up. Esther, the man that said there is no pastor that stands along Donald Trump, I expected you to have corrected the man that there are pastors that are still calling the killing as genocide. Did the pastor of Dunamis Church and Pastor Differency and many others not condemn the killing? This is from John. Alright, John, well done. Hello, Nigeria. Forget about 2027. But don't sacrifice, go far. Nothing will stop the man. He's a spiritual man. Nigeria, don't sleep, otherwise 2023 will be smaller. Waba from Surini, Lagos. It's a pity that the analysts on your station is speaking negatively of the judiciary, National Assembly, executive, the police. Imagine a foreigner listening to the station. How will they see this country? All right. I've been listening to the radio station for years. The analysis are always balanced from Inkem. All right. Thank you very much. God bless you, Inkem. Good evening. The list is very despicable. There is a need for Trump to come for assistance since the country cannot protect its citizens. Mike from K2. All right. This person says Wike did not do anything wrong. People should leave Wike to do his work. My name is Amadi Ibekwe. All right, Amadi, well done. Okay, thank you so much for your compliment. I sincerely do appreciate that. This person says, and this man will be ashamed of this if this protest goes unsuccessfully. Okay. Do you think every pastor in Nigeria, man of God, most of them are looking for what to eat by using false prophecy to achieve their goal? Ayodele from Mushi. All right, Ayodele, well done. Thank you for sending your message. Hello. Turn down the volume.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Fine, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, Dr.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Mary. I'm calling from Texas.
Mayor, welcome. How you doing?
Hello. How's the weekend?
My weekend day, Mayor.
You see, that sound bite that you play, because it's all over social media, this English man, yes. So,
yes, primary.
It's so unfortunate that our politicians have done bacchanal this country on the new calendar, and this is a so-called man of God that we say is away from a man of God supposed to be a man of peace. In the olden days in the Bible, I remember very well when this man humbled David, when he committed adultery with Jezebel, and he took a prophet Nathan to go and talk truth to him, truth to the authority. And David was so ashamed that started begging for forgiveness. But our men of God is here, are more than the politician. It's so unfortunate. And then the narrative of the present administration. I don't think any of these officials will love this country. Because in those days, everybody will remember how they used to hire bicycle. Because when you hire bicycle with 10 naira, you want to use it as you, but you want to use it in those days.
Yes, because
yes, because if you want to use it, it will be more than 100. You want to use it, these people are using the country as if they have another place like the country. It's so unfortunate. And you know, where is going? Well, our division of the country is very honestly speaking, because it's not about God for peace. The way that we are driving this country, we don't know where we are heading to. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Tony. But your final take, escape don't enter.
My final take is that you should be watchful.
Okay.
One day, the country will be good again.
Amen. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Esther Magical. Estic Media on YouTube, ESTIQMEDIA. Kindly subscribe. Esther Magical on Facebook and Esther Miles on Instagram. That's ESTANWAZ. Do have yourself an amazing weekend. I'll be seeing you possibly beginning of December. So make sure you have fun and voila.